So we can start. So this is going to be a very brief talk about this. So a lot of people have been inboxing about things to do with HELSB. So we're going to have this meeting so that all of your questions will be answered at once, because your texts are they're a lot, quite overwhelming. So and then before we even start, I'll first make a disclaimer. So I do not work for HELSB. I'm not involved with them. What will be discussed here, it is just from experience, the things which you have to know and all that. So some of the information, all of the information here is accurate, but over time there'll be things changing. So you can take note of that. So, but as at this year 2025, let's talk about HELSB. So we're going to talk about the student loan. So we have this student loan, and a lot of people confuse it with what is called a bursary. So there's a difference between a student loan and a bursary. So when we're talking about a so just hold on. Okay, so now we're talking about a bursary and a student loan. So you should be able to understand very well just from the start. So like when we're talking about a student loan, so we have this student loan. So we're going to start with a bursary, because a bursary, it is something that is more common. This is something which we've heard about a lot. So a bursary, it used to happen, it used to be there in the past, whereby the government, so how do you write government? We're just going to write a shortcut. So the government used to sponsor students, like you'll be sponsored, and then after finishing school, you won't be able to pay back. Like it was free education, 100% free education. But over time, a lot of people now were applying for the bursary, and the government, like, it was going low on funds. So they introduced a student loan so that when you finish working, you can start paying back. So no wonder it's called a loan, because you'll be paying back. And then now, one of the most asked question, people ask, like, okay, so I'll start paying back. So how is the paying back? So now what happens is that when you graduate, you have to pay back within 1 year. So within 1 year, you should pay the fees which HELSB was giving you. And when you're given this student loan, so we no longer call it bursary, we call it student loan. So when you are given a student loan, the tuition fees will be paid for you, like per year. Most of the universities, it's around 30,000. So in your first year, they'll pay you 30,000. In your second year, they pay 30,000. Again 30,000. Again 30,000. In your fourth year, for those doing medicine, all the way up to 6th year. And then, so this is just the tuition fee. So HELSB will pay for you your tuition fee. So the HELSB is Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board. They will pay your tuition fee. They also pay for you your accommodation fee. So like the accommodation fee is different from university to university. At Mulungushi, there are different kinds of accommodation. So HELSB will normally pay around 4,100 for the entire academic year. In one semester at Mulungushi, it's around 2,100. So HELSB will pay for you this 4,100. It will also pay for you What else does it pay? Yeah, so basically these. So there are schools like CB where there's registration fee, all that will be paid by HELSB. So now we're going to talk about even the allowances in a few minutes from now. So here we're still on the introduction. So I was saying when you finish, you have to pay back within 1 year. Like all the monies you are being given plus the allowances which we are going to talk about, you have to pay everything in 1 year. But usually this is practically not very possible. Like you've just graduated, this will be like here you already have 120,000 plus all the allowances. So usually people do not pay within 1 year. So now what happens if you do not pay within 1 year? So what happens is that HELSB will wait for you to start working. So when you start working, what will happen is that HELSB will now be deducting 10% per month of your salary, and this will go on for the next 10 years. Yeah, so this will go on for the next 10 years. So like when you start working in the first year, per month they'll be getting 10%. This small portion, 10% of the salary will be gotten. Yeah, until for the next 10 years. Yeah, so the reason is mainly because they want to sponsor more students. So the more they are getting back the money, even the allowances increase for the others. Yeah, so this can seem to be like cruel or something. Yeah, but it will advantage the coming generation. Yeah, because the new allowance, we're going to talk about the allowances, but I just want to say something here. So the new allowance used to be around 675 per month. So when you start going to school, they'll be paying you per month 675. But because now more people are graduating, they're getting back the money. So as at 2025, the new allowance is around 750 per month. So in the next few years, they'll even increase this. Yeah. So this is the reason why they recover the money, so that they can sponsor more people and all that. So now the most common question which people ask here is that okay, yeah, they will start getting the money when I start working, but what if I don't work? What if I don't start work? What will happen? So here this is not possible. It's a lie. There's no way you will graduate and you won't find work. Then why were you going to school? So eventually, whether you like it or not, you will find work. Even if you don't find work, you are going to start up something. You start a business, and from that business, HELSB will be getting back the money. Yeah, so either ways, HELSB will find ways to recover their own money. And then and then you might wonder, now what if I start up a company? How will HELSB know? It's because you are going to give HELSB all the details. You give HELSB your TPIN number. We're going to talk about this. You give HELSB your NRC, so meaning they'll be able to trace you. Yeah, so don't be bad, like you want to hide after they sponsor you. Yeah, so and then when you start working, or if you don't start work, then you'll find ways to survive, and HELSB will also look for you so that they can have their money. Yeah, and then the other question which someone asked, which was very interesting, like okay, so they'll make sure they recover. So what if someone dies? Maybe you are being sponsored and then unfortunately someone passes on. So if someone passes on, then in that case HELSB wouldn't be able to recover. Yeah, they can't go to someone's parents, that those guardians who are keeping the person, that the family should pay. So if it happens that someone dies, then it means HELSB has lost funds. Yeah, so this is a very unfortunate situation. Yeah, so this is our introduction to the student loan. Yeah, so we're going to talk about these, how to apply, what are the requirements, what is the process. Yeah, so I wanted to brief you on what we have on the introduction. Yeah, so now at this point, if you have a question, you can raise your hand, and then I'll tell you so that you can ask. So are there questions? Okay, so I can't see any hand. So at this point, I guess we're quite okay. Yeah, or maybe, yeah, so we're good. So you can react so that I see that we're okay. All right. So Lambwa, do you have a question? Lambwa, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and then you ask. Okay, so I think I saw a hand, but so I think we're together at this point. Yeah, so those are the basics about the student loan. Yeah, so from now on, you don't call it bursary. Yeah, you don't call it bursary, it's a student loan. Yeah, and then the other form of a student loan is whereby someone is sponsored to go abroad. Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen from the HELSB official page where they've advertised for Morocco, Russia scholarships. So the alternative to a bursary, it's a scholarship. So someone can be given a scholarship. So if you are given a scholarship, then you won't pay back the money. Yeah, because mostly the scholarships are funded by those countries where you are going. If you are going to Russia, it means Russia is sponsoring the scholarship. Yeah. So, Precious, ensure you mute your mic. Yeah. So, yeah, ensure you mute your mic. If there's a lot of disturbance, then I would be forced to like remove you, and then you watch the recorded lesson. Yeah, so this is about HELSB. It's not called bursary, it's called student loan. Yeah. So who is this one? Precious. If you are removed, you won't be able to join again. Yeah, so I think we should help our sister to exit. Yeah, okay, so now let's talk about how you apply. I think before even talking about how you apply for the student loan, the requirements, we have to talk about the requirements and then how you apply. Yeah, so now let's go to the requirements. What are the requirements for you to apply for a student loan? Yeah, so let's briefly talk about this. So what are the requirements if you want to apply for a student loan? So I'm going to project another window so that we can get to talk about these requirements. Yeah, so you can react if you're able to see the screen, the other screen now. And then don't worry, I'm going to zoom in. Yeah, okay, so just hold on. Okay, so now the basic requirements for student loan applicants. Yeah, so the first thing, you need your handwritten application letter, and then you need a photocopy of your admission letter, and then you need your results or your certificate, and then you also need your NRC. You are the applicant, and so you are the applicant, and also your parents' NRC. So both NRCs, they are needed, and then also the passport size photos and all these. Yeah, so let us now talk about each one of these a little bit more detail. So starting with the application letter, so you have to write this with your own handwriting. Yeah, so if you are applying for a scholarship, trying to go abroad, you type it, but when you're applying for a student loan, you have to write it with your handwriting. So what do you need to know about your application letter? So your application letter should be just on one page. Sorry, excuse me. So your application letter should be on one page. So like here, you should, on the top right corner, you should write your address, and then here on the bottom left, you are going to write the address for HELSB. Yeah, and then you are going to put reference application for 100% student loan, application for 100% student loan, or reference application for 75%, according to the level of sponsorship you want. Yeah, and then you now write your you now write your application. So what do you need to know about what you write in the application? Yeah, so I have samples with me. I'm going to show you. So, but what do you need to know? Firstly, yeah, so I think let's go to, so here is a sample. This was compiled by one of the students, also from experience, about what you have to know. Yeah, so like here, like I said, you have to put your address and the date. Yeah, so don't forget the date. And then this is the address for HELSB. Yeah, so you can see it here. Yeah, so let me zoom in. Yeah, so I hope you are able to see. So this is the address for HELSB. Yeah, also not forgetting Lusaka. So remember, like I said, as we started this meeting, so this information is valid as at 2025. Yeah, so this is what is known. So there used to be another address. I've even forgotten it. I think it was starting with 64, but they have changed. So these things, usually there can be changes. So like we used to use another address, and then now HELSB is using a different address again this time. So you have to check to make sure that when the advert is out, you check the PO box which is showing. You use the one which is latest. Yeah, but as at now we use this one. Yeah, so I hope the person who compiled this sample, this is the right one. Yeah, and then you start your application. You write dear sir, and then you talk about application for student loan, and then you indicate your percentage. Yeah, if you want 25, you want 100, 75, 50, 75, up to 100. Yeah, and then we're also going to talk about what the student loan will cover. If you are given 100%, what will be covered? If you are given 75%, what will be covered? Yeah, so this is just a sample of what is required. So I'm going to send these samples in the group, but in case you are watching this recorded meeting and then you are not in the group, you can inbox me I send you the samples. Yeah, so you can inbox me on this line. This is 0049, and then I'll be able to send you these samples. So just to quickly run through, in the first paragraph, the main thing is to introduce yourself. Yeah, so in the first paragraph, introduce yourself. You have to indicate the percentage you're applying for. So with reference to the above captioned matter, you can leave this out. So with reference to the above captioned matter, I hereby apply for a 100% student loan. Or you say, I'm hereby applying for a 75% student loan. Yeah, according to the level you want. Yeah, then you have to indicate, I am a Zambian female or I'm a Zambian male, because these are the things HELSB will be looking out for. The percentage you want, your sex, because there's a category like for females. They also need to know your age. If you are 25 years and above, HELSB doesn't sponsor. Yeah. So there's a limitation to the age. 25 and above, HELSB doesn't sponsor. So I don't know the reason. I can't speak on behalf of HELSB. Yeah. So and then again, always remember, information changes. So there used to be another age limit. I've forgotten. I think it was like 22 years. They're only awarding 22 years and below, but this time around they award 24 years and below. Yeah, they have increased the age limit. Yeah, so we'll always keep you updated with the new information. So this is, as at now, they only award people at 24 years and below. So I wanted to add 24. Yeah, so only those who are 24 years and coming down. So you have to state your institution, your program, and the school in which you have been admitted. So like these samples for 2024-2025, meaning for you, mostly it will be 2026, 2025-2026. Yeah, 2025-2026. Yeah, so this is the sample. In the okay, the words are a lot. Yeah, so but let's just summarize and run through. So like this is the first paragraph, so make sure you write neatly. You can even ask someone to write for you in case like your handwriting is not very clear. So because you have to know that the applications are usually a lot, so ensure that things are clear. So in the first paragraph, introduce yourself. So is there someone who has unmute? So ensure that your mic is mute, so that we all get what is being talked about. Yeah, but in case you have a question, I'm not looking at my phone. In case you have a question, you can just interrupt me for a while, like here, what about this? Yeah. So but I'll be giving room in case you have a question. So now in the second paragraph, you have to state the reason why you're applying for a student loan. So the major reason is vulnerability. Like most of the people, like in case it happens that you might not have both parents, your parents, maybe both of them are there, they are working, but they can't sponsor you. You have to give those reasons here. So like this sample here, what was the reason? So I am writing to formally apply for a student loan to support my education at Mulungushi University or at University of Zambia. So depending on where you have been accepted. So as a, here you can write as a double orphan, single orphan, or if you are not an orphan, you can just say I'm writing to apply for a student loan to support my education at Mulungushi University. And then if you are not an orphan or anything, you can leave out this part. And then you continue. I am compelled to seek assistance to pursue my studies as my parents do not have means of paying my tuition fee. Yeah, so here you just now explain why you cannot apply. Oh, sorry, the reason why you are applying, the reason why HELSB should consider you. So there are a number of reasons. Maybe you live with your grandmother, she cannot manage to sponsor you. Maybe you live with both of your parents, but their source of income isn't sufficient to be paying your tuition fees. Yeah, you write it here in the second paragraph. Yeah, so ensure you just go straight to the point and ensure that you are not explaining too much, like you are not giving the entire story. No, I come from this place. Yeah, you just go straight to the point. But this is the part. So I have a number of samples, and I'm sure if you're in a number of groups, you would have seen a number of samples. So there are 3 main paragraphs. The first one, introduce yourself, and the second one, you are giving the reason why you are applying for a student loan. Yeah, and then for the third paragraph, here, according to this sample, you state ways in which the student loan will help you. So this is more for a scholarship. When you apply for a scholarship, that's when you usually explain. But also for a student loan, you can state like, oh wait, are you people able to see my screen? So someone should unmute and inform me. So I think, okay, so someone can't see and then the majority can see. Yeah, so I think it's just a network. So the screen will come up for those who are not able to see it. Yeah, so just a second. So I'll present. So I've just exited, and then I want to ensure that at least almost everyone is able to see. Okay, so I've started sharing my screen again. So can you react if you're able to see it? If you're able to see this sample. Okay, so others are able to see majority. Okay, and then Blessing, do you have a question? Unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so I can see a hand, but Blessings, you can go ahead. Okay, so I think that's just a mistake. Yeah, so now let's continue. Let's run through. So I've said there are three main paragraphs which you need. Okay, so these are the colleagues who made this sample. So we have Professor Wan and Engineer Simon. Yeah, so and you can also reach out to these guys where you are not clear. Yeah, so we are all here just to help you. So there are three main paragraphs which you need. The first one, the first paragraph, you introduce yourself. The second paragraph, you explain your situation. I live with my single mom. She works as a teacher, but she cannot manage to pay for my school fees. I live with my grandfather. My parents are late. He cannot manage to sponsor me. Yeah, you list those. You give reasons, and then in the third paragraph, in the third paragraph, now that is now your conclusion. Like you can say, if this student loan is awarded to me, it will help me to pursue my dreams, it will help me to further my education. And then the most important thing here, the most important thing is for you to list what you have attached. So we're going to talk about the supporting documents. So you know, immediately you say that you are a, like you say you are a double orphan. Immediately you say this, that you are a double orphan. Then HELSB will say, oh, okay, this one is a double orphan. We can see they are vulnerable. But the major thing they will see, the one they want is the proof. Do you have the death certificate? What do you have that will show that you are a double orphan? Yeah, so now we're going to talk about the death certificate, the affidavit. Yeah, so all those are in plan. Yeah, so here on the third part, you simply give what you have attached to admission letter. So remember, everything should be on one page. So on the last part, I think they didn't include, where is it? Oh yeah, so you state the supporting documents. Like you can, if maybe your parent is like, so these are just general examples. Like maybe your guardian is a nurse, they have other people to take care of, they cannot manage to sponsor you. Like you can even attach a what? You can even attach a payroll, a pay slip. Like, oh, this is their salary, but they are sponsoring other people. They won't manage to pay for everything. So therefore, I'm asking for a 50% student loan, or maybe 75 or even 100. Yeah, so this is a sample. You don't have to write exactly what's in here, but so this is just to give you ideas. Yeah, so so I'm going to talk about that. So I've also this sample from our colleague Alice Walia. So these are a number of them. So this is, I also send this. So this is just for you to have more ideas. Yeah, so there are about 6 samples in this document. Yeah, so I'm going to share this as well. There's a letter whereby both parents are farmers. One parent is working, both parents work. So maybe you just want 25% or 50%. Yeah, so there are all these letters. So I think this is our one of the people guiding Alice Walia. So these are samples. Yeah, so there's another sample from our colleague from CBU, Mr. Justin Mazimba. So all these people, they're there to help you. Yeah, so I'm going to share these samples as well, so that you don't make, you only write what is needed. Yeah, and then also, like, if you want to share, like, you have written, maybe you have written your application letter, and then you want someone to check if it's okay. Yeah, you can let me know, like, okay, so this is my sample of my handwritten application letter, and then you want me to have a look so that I can guide you if there's need. Yeah, you can inbox me on this line. Yeah, and then you can as well inbox all these people. Yeah, so you can just bear with us that we have a number of things. We have also school to take care of, so sometimes we can reply late, but we eventually reply. Yeah, so we're talking about the handwritten application letter. We've talked about it in as much detail as possible. Yeah, so are there questions? So I can allow for like two or more people to ask. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand, and then I'll point you. Okay, so I think we're good. We have talked about the application letter at great length. So now let's the admission letter. We don't have to talk about this. Okay, so before we proceed, Agrippa, you have a question. You can go ahead, unmute yourself, and then you ask. Agrippa. Ish. Yeah.
I have a question on it. Yeah. Can the application letter, the one which is handwritten, be typed, or we just said the handwritten one?
Oh, okay, thanks. So you can now mute.
Sorry.
Okay, so he's asking if the application letter can be handwritten, or maybe if it can be typed. Yeah, so I think maybe joined a little bit late. So then the application letter should always be typed. Yeah, so no matter what, the application letter should always be typed. So I even said that if maybe you feel like handwriting is not very clear, then you can even ask someone to write it for you. So immediately you type it, there are even chances that you'll be left out because you haven't followed what has been given. You haven't followed the requirements. So the application letter should always be typed. Always. Yeah, they should be always be typed. Sorry. They should always be handwritten. Yeah, handwritten at all costs. You don't type your application letter unless you are planning to go abroad. You are applying for a scholarship. Yeah, so I guess we'll talk about the scholarship on another day. So, but the application letter for a student loan should always be typed. Yeah, so now another one has a hand. So you can go ahead and ask.
Yeah, so recently you talked about supporting documents.
Yes.
So I'm really confused on that one. Really confused on that one. Because people have been saying, have been talking about the table recommendations. So how many recommendation letters are really needed?
Okay, so thanks very much. So on the supporting documents, we have these. Yeah, so we're going to run through the supporting documents. Yeah, we're going to talk about them. So you need like one recommendation letter. Yeah, so but I'm going to explain more about these. So first, let's talk about the basic requirements, and then when we finish, we go to the supporting documents. Yeah, so the application letter should always be handwritten at all costs. Immediately you type it, then you'll be left out. Photocopy of your admission letter. So the admission letter should always be, like you can photocopy it so that you remain with a copy. So at Mulungushi, usually the admission letters are sent online. So you print it out and then you photocopy it. So you don't need to certify the admission letter. Like you go to school and then you certify. You don't need to do that. You just print out and make a copy. Yeah, so that's about the admission letter. And then your grade 12 results. So these ensure that you submit a photocopy, especially when you have a certificate. Once you submit an original, it is almost impossible to retrieve it because there are a lot of papers at HELSB headquarters, and I can guess that after a period of time they are discarded. Like yeah, oh, not really discarded, but because they need your information to track you. But it's a lengthy process. Like I haven't experienced whereby someone was able to retrieve the original script. So ensure you photocopy, and then that's when you submit. So your grade 12 results should be certified. So there are a number of questions about verification and certification. What does it mean when we say verify your results or certify? So I'm going to start with verifying your results. So your results, what we mean by verifying, it's whereby you have a statement. So a statement of results is not a certificate. So a statement of results, if you are attaching a statement of results, you have to verify it. You have to verify your statement of results. And the only body which verifies, it's only ECZ. So only ECZ verifies your results. They'll check in the system, are these your results, and the fee is 100 kwacha. So you have to pay for verification at ECZ. Yeah, and then there's also Higher Education Authority, HEA. Yeah, so according to recent some recent guidance, like even the Higher Education Authority can certify or can verify, but don't go with what is not common. Just verify with ECZ only, so that you don't start reducing your chances. So statement of results should be verified by ECZ and you pay 100 kwacha. That's the statement of results. And then a certificate now, when we're talking about a certificate comes from ECZ. It means that your results are certified. So a certificate shows that your results are verified. So if you take your certificate to ECZ, usually they'll just take you back like, no, this is a certificate, we don't need to verify it. So the only thing they can do maybe is to certify. So what is the difference between verifying and certifying? So to certify, it simply means that you have a copy. So let's say this is your NRC. You have your original NRC and then you have printed it out. When you print out your NRC, you need to certify it, meaning you go to the police. When you go to the police, they'll first tell you that where is the original. So they tell you that where is the original certificate. When you give them the original certificate, then they will be able to say that, oh, okay. Or when you give them the original NRC, they'll be able to say that, okay, so this is yours, then we're going to certify. Yeah, so certifying simply means that you are showing that the document you are presenting is truly yours. Yeah, so now if you have a certificate, so that the first paper which ECZ gives, it's a statement of results. So this one in blue is a statement of results, and then this one here, it's a certificate. Yeah, so I don't know if just my screen is visible. So from the other device I'm using, I can't see it. Yeah, so for those who are not able to see my screen, you'll be able to watch the recorded lesson or meeting rather. Yeah, so but those who are able to see, can I see those who are able to see? You can react. Okay. So a number of us are able to see. Yeah, so I don't know what's wrong here, but so but this is recording. You'll be able to go through. Yeah, so I'm saying here this is a statement. This is a statement of results, and then this one here is a certificate. So if you have a statement of results, you certify it, or you verify. So a statement of results you verify, but a certificate you just certify. Like, so for the certificate you can certify anywhere. You can go to your former school. You have to go with the original and also the copy, so that they see that okay, this what you are certifying is truly yours. Yeah, so but for the certificate it's only ECZ you verify. You should have an ECZ date stamp. And then if you already have a certificate, it means that your results are verified already. So you just have to certify. Yeah, so I hope you have gotten it on the results and certificate. Statement of results, you verify. Certificate, you certify. Yeah, so if you want to be, if you are still not comfortable, you can comment on the video and then I'll reply immediately. Yeah, so this is about this. And then number 4, you need a photocopy of your NRC, you are the applicant, and also your guardian's NRC. And then these, you just have to make sure you certify. So where do you certify your documents? You can certify at any recognized institution. Yeah, like you can go to the police, you can go to the court, yeah, you go to the commissioner of oaths, you go to your church, you can also go where you go to the office of the DC. So as long as you are presenting your original and your certificate and your copy, so like you have to go with your original NRC and then you go with the plain paper where it has been photocopied so that they can certify. So you go with these. You have to certify your NRC and your NRC and your guardian's NRC. If your parents are both alive, you have to certify for both. Yeah, you have to present both. Yeah, so all this information is to ensure that you don't run away with the money for the government. Yeah, so don't scam the government. Yeah, and then we can go to number 5. Okay, so there's a question. Lubaya, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, my question is on certificate or statement of results.
Yes.
What if you have two certificates? What if you have two certificates for GCA and do you need to certify both of them, or you have to make one examination number or to attach them?
Okay. Okay, thanks. So you can now mute again. Yeah, so there's a question that okay, what if you have, so this what if it's also a certificate? Yeah, so but one is for GCE and then the other one is for school certificate, or it's also called internal. So what do you do here? So like I can take you back to like when you're applying for admission at Mlongoshi. So what happens is that both are needed. Yeah, so both of these papers are needed because your school certificate, it shows that there's another course or there's another subject which hasn't been cleared. So for them to be able to approve, like they also need to see the other part, like okay, you have also cleared the other subjects. So usually in the case of applying for admission, you need both. Like you find ways of making them one. So you can go to ECZ and then they combine. Although ECZ doesn't combine GC and school certificate unless they are unless combining the GCE results only. But combining these two, ECZ doesn't do that. So what you do, you just have to do both, yeah, so that you are just on the safe side. So when you attach your school certificate, you also attach your GCE so that they can see that, oh, okay, everything is in place. Yeah, so you need to attach both. Yeah, so although HELSB isn't even clear on this, they do not specify. So you just have to take a precaution, like okay, I'll attach this, I'll also attach this. Yeah, and then make sure that the school certificate is on top, and then below it there's your GCE. Yeah, so that's on that. Now going to the fifth requirement, you need 2 recent passport size photos. So what are these passport sized photos? So these you have to go to a cameraman. You go to a cameraman, or you go to a stationery shop. Yeah, you go to a stationery shop where they do printing, capturing of IDs. So these the passport size photos. They are there for HELSB to make sure that they know you, that okay, so Mr. Lubaya looks like this. HELSB will be able to know you. So the passport size photos, it only needs your face on it. Yeah, so and then where is the, so this is a sample of the form which you buy. We're going to talk about this. So here I just want to show you here on the top right. I'm not able to zoom in. So here on the top right, this is where you attach both of your passport size photos, so that HELSB knows you that, oh okay, Ruth is this one, Grace looks like this, so that in case you run away with the government money, they'll be able to post you like, we're asking for this person, they have disappeared. Yeah, so you attach your color passport size photo. So ensure that it's not in black and white. You even have to tell the person capturing you, although they already know, but in case of anything, you can just mention that it shouldn't be in black and white. Yeah, so that's on the color passport size photo. You need 2. So but as you are capturing, do you need so the form you'll be given, you only fill in once. Yeah, so you need 2, but ensure you even get like 4 or even 6. For those going to do medicine at Mulungushi, again, these passport size photos, they'll need they'll need more again. Yeah, so here they even need like forgotten, is it 4, 6? Yeah, so ensure you get enough in case you even make a mistake, like you lose 1 or 2. So that's on the passport size photo. So are there questions here? Okay, so Mr. Simeba, you can go ahead and ask.
Yes, sir. Someone told me to say your passport size photos should have then should have the name. Is it true?
Oh yeah, thanks very much.
Behind.
Yeah, so the passport size photos, you should write your full name behind. You have to indicate your full name. So even on the advert, it is written that your passport size photo should have your name behind. Yeah, so thanks for that question. I just forgot to talk about it. So your passport size photo should have your name behind. Yeah, so on both of them you write your name, first name and surname. Yeah, and then now going to number 6, an application form bought from any NatSafe branch. So you need to buy a form which goes at 100 kwacha. So in introducing this meeting, I made a disclaimer that the information can change. Yeah, so this video will be recorded, and then those who watch it like maybe 2 years from now, some of the information will change. Yeah, so like one thing is, this form, it used to go at 30 kwacha. Yeah, it used to go at 30 kwacha. But By HELSB, for some reason known to them, they increased it to 100. So this form which you buy from NatSave, it now goes at 100 kwacha. So those who are coming like maybe next year, they can even find it at 150. If the board decides, if they decide they can reduce it to 50, if they want, they can also reduce it to free, like you just get it for free. Now they need to print it out, so money is needed. So you have to buy it from NatSave, and it's only bought at NatSave. So now let's look at this form. So the form looks like this. So one thing I should tell you on this form is that you have to photocopy it for reference, but you don't submit a photocopy. So this one, please don't submit a photocopy. Immediately you submit a photocopy of this form, then you will automatically be left out, and there's no negotiation. Once you photocopy it and you submit the photocopy, then you will be left out. So the reason why you don't have to photocopy it, it's because there's a way in which it comes. It comes like those past papers for ECZ, like they do not have staples, but they are binded together. So if you photocopy it to have staples, and again, don't be smart, like you try to make it look like the original. Yeah, so you just have to buy it and submit the original one, but you make sure you photocopy it for your own, because we're going to talk about what happens when you are left out if you are not awarded the student loan. So you buy this one at NatSave. Don't buy it from any individual. Yeah, so you buy it at NatSave, and then here you put your color passport size photo. Here you put your receipt number. So you can ask the people at NatSave, like what's the receipt number, and then you will put it there. So we're going to talk about this when the advert is out. Like I'm sure you have a number of questions. But here these are just basic details. Are you female? Are you disabled? We're going to talk about ZRA TPIN. We're going to talk about the NAPSA social security number. NRC you put. So we're going to talk about this. You indicate your student loan percentage. Yeah, and then these are the things which HELSB needs. Like you just need to have these documents. So let's see what else we're going to talk about. Okay, so firstly, while we're still here, you can see here, let me zoom in again. Yeah, so I hope you're able to see here. It is written signed application letter. So this should not confuse you. Signed application letter simply means you write your handwritten application letter and then you sign it. Yeah, so I think I didn't mention, you have to sign your letter. After writing, you sign it. Yeah, so you're going to see from the samples, you have to write yours faithfully and then you sign. And then you attach your admission letter, you attach your school certificate, and then for those who are differently abled, you have to attach this certificate. If you are registered with Zambia Persons Living with Disabilities, you have to attach a certificate. Yeah, and then copy of your TPIN certificate, proof of social security number. I've skipped this because we're coming. Copy of your NRC you have to attach, and it should be certified. So HELSB doesn't say that you should certify, but we just take it for precaution. So imagine everyone are certified and then they reach to your application, you are the only one who hasn't certified, then it will seem like you are not serious with what you are doing. So certify your NRC, certify your parents' NRC or your guardian's NRC, and then there's proof of payment. So this is number 7, a clear copy of the receipt from NatSave branch. So when you go to NatSave, when you buy the form, you'll be given a receipt, or they can give you a deposit slip. So ensure you photocopy it and then you attach. Yeah, so everything should just have a copy in case there are mistakes, in case you lose things. So proof of payment, it means your deposit slip or your receipt. Ensure you attach this. Immediately you leave it out, then you also be left out on the loan, because they'll say that maybe your friend just gave you the application form. Yeah, it will show that you didn't buy. You didn't pay for the form. You want to use something for free, and they'll teach you a lesson. So don't do that. And then Mildred, do you have a question? You can go ahead.
So I was kindly asking the recommendation letter, since there is a death stamp on it, does it have an expiry date?
Okay, thank you. So the recommendation letter, the expiry date for such documents is in the last 6 months. Yeah, so like especially when you are getting a TPIN, there's a provision that you should attach. I think it's not for a TPIN, but it's on something. Yeah, so but if there's a deadline, it's usually in the last 6 months. Yeah, so something should be collected in the last 6 months. So like this is April, you can get your recommendation letter, and it can be used in May because it's too recent. But you cannot use a recommendation letter which is like from June last year. That is too far, because maybe the person who recommended you, what if HELSB wants to ask them some questions, and then maybe you got your recommendation letter from your head teacher, and then when they go to your school they find that the head teacher has resigned or has retired. So you need something that is latest, so that in case there's need for reference, HELSB will be able to trace. Although this is very rare that HELSB will trace, but this is the reason why it should be recent. Yeah, in case maybe even something happens to you, they should have someone to communicate to. So it should be in the last 6 months. Yeah, and then is it Keith? You can go ahead and ask.
Yes, sir. Where do you submit these papers after signing them?
Oh, okay, thank you. So you submit at 3 places. So the first one, it's usually NatSave, where you buy the form from. That's why you submit. Yeah. So you submit at NatSave, or you can submit at the headquarters in Lusaka. So here, this is in Woodlands. This is where you can submit. For those who are in Lusaka, you can take direct. Even those who are not from Lusaka, you can take to Woodlands. Yeah, so this is it opposite Mosot? Yeah, so you can ask for directions. So you submit in Lusaka, or you submit at NatSave, or you can submit at CBU for those who are in Copper Belt. So HELSB has an office at CBU. It is room C4. So you can take to CBU, and then they will take to the headquarters. So for those who are in Copper Belt, you can take to CBU, or you can take to NatSave. For those who are in Lusaka, you can take to Woodlands, the headquarters. For those who are far, you can take anywhere. You can take at NatSave, where you buy the form from. That's why you also take. Yeah, so that is why you submit. You submit NatSave, CBU, or headquarters in Lusaka. Yeah, so we talked from talking about these documents which you need to attach. So you can see that in the form they've been written on that vet, they say you have to attach these. Also on the form you have to attach. So immediately you don't submit your admission letter, you automatically be disqualified. as soon as you don't attach your certificate or statement of results, you'll be disqualified. So these are very important. Now, there is a pressing issue on the certificate. First, we'll start with the social security number. So this has recently been introduced. So for the social security number, as at now, as at 2025, this is not very mandatory. Yeah, so I think this is mainly for those like you have some form of employment, and then you have applied for admission, and then you are below 24 years, you have registered with NAPSA, then you'll be given a social security number. That's a social security number. You are going to write it. Where is it? So it's not even on the form. Yeah. So but the social security number, it's not very mandatory as at now. So maybe later on, as time goes by, HELSB will announce that you need this. Yeah. So but just for the sake of precaution, if you just want to be like very safe, you can go on the website for NAPSA and then you start registering. But on this one, it's not very mandatory. Yeah, like you fill in your name, your NRC. There can even be form of employment. Now, for you guys, most of you are not working. Yeah, so this are not very cardinal as at now. You can leave it out. And then for the certificate, again, this is also new. It never used to be there from 2022 somewhere going down. They never needed this. Yeah, so and then in 2023 it was introduced. Others were applying without attaching it. Others were applying with others attached it, and everyone was being given a student loan. So, but let's just have a talk on the TPIN. So this TPIN, it is used. It is a form of requirement when you want to open a bank account. So okay. So when you want to open a bank account, there's now a need for a TPIN. So you have to create this so that you're able to create your bank account. Yeah, and then even previously, when people are creating bank accounts, TPINs were never required. Not so much, but just that things are changing. So for this TPIN, for you guys, you have to ensure that at least you get yourself a TPIN. Although on the advert it is never mentioned, you can be admitted, you even be accepted for your student loan without a TPIN. But when you go to school, they will tell you that where is the certificate? You have to include it. Yeah, so this one is very important. And how do you create a TPIN? So we're going to run through. We're going to talk about how you can make your TPIN. Yeah. So yeah, so I want to show you just briefly on how you can go about creating this TPIN. Okay, so just a moment, I want to change on what to present. Yeah, okay, so I think for the website, oh wait, Mildred, your hand is still up. Do you have a question? Yeah, okay, so I'll take it that that's not a question. Yeah, so there are two ways of creating a TPIN. Yeah, you can create your TPIN using, you can go online on ZRA, or you can create your TPIN using the ZRA app. It's called TagZone app. So now, I'm just going to show you quickly using the TagZone app how you create your TPIN. Yeah, so I'm going to stop my presentation for here, and then I'll present on something else. Yeah, so we're going to see from the other screen. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so I hope you're able to see my screen there. So you can create your TPIN by going on Google Play Store. Yeah, so that you download the app. Yeah, so you can go on your Google Play Store. Yeah, so then on the Google Play Store, we're going to search for my TPIN. Oh, it's called TagZone app. So I'm going to search. So what you search for? You search for tax on app. Yeah, so the IT even came as ZRA. So you search for TagZone app. Yeah, so there we can we can see so this is the TagZone app. So here on my phone, it's already installed. So if you don't have it and you don't have your TPIN, you can install the TagZone app. Yeah, and then after installing it, and then you now go to your apps so that you can. So here it is here. So this is the TagZone app. So it's there beside Telegram. Yeah, so we go there. And then here where it is written sign in, it is for those who have already created. When you click on sign in, so let's even go there. So here you put your TPIN which was given. And by the way, in case you don't know what TPIN means, TPIN simply means taxpayer's identification number. It means you're a taxpayer, you pay tax. Yeah, so but for you guys as at now, you're not paying tax that much. You're only paying tax in form of the school where you go to, they pay tax from the things you buy. Yeah, you indirectly pay taxes. But later on when you become business people, you register your businesses, you'll be directly paying tax. So here, this screen, it is for those who already have their TPIN. So if you already have a TPIN, others call it a TPIN number. If you already have it, you just write it. You also put your password and then you log in. If you forgot your password, you click where there's forget password. Yeah, so now let's go back. So if you want to register, you can see down there it's written TPIN registration. So you click there. Yeah, so here on top it's individual resident. You just, so for others in the previous years it used to bring non-resident, like you are not Zambian. Yeah, so ensure that it's resident, and then individual, meaning that you are making a TPIN for your own, it's not for a business. Yeah, and then title, you put you are male, Mr., you are female, Miss. Yeah, so don't put doctor if you are not a doctor. Yeah, you put Mr. or Miss, and then you write your name. What's my name? Okay, so Mr. Mega Minds. You write. So Mega Minds is my real name. And then year of birth, I was born in 19 what? If I'm not mistaken, 1981. Yeah, or New Year. So that is my real date of birth. Yeah, and then married, you say whether you are married. Like for me, I'm married. If you are single, you put single. If you are dating, you don't put that. There's no such thing as dating. So that is not a status. Yeah. So what else is needed? Nationality, Zambian, NRC, you put the NRC which you have, phone number you put. So all these, it's now more of basic. And then reason for registering your TPIN. So why are you registering your TPIN? It's there are no much reasons. Yeah, so you just say other. Yeah, so but in previous time you'd find something like you want to create a bank account, you want to create a business, all those things. Yeah, you put them. Yeah, you just select, it will come as an option. Yeah, and then from there you just my connection is going bad. Okay, so let's continue quickly. Yeah, so my connection has just gone bad. So there you say reason for registration other, and then you can click on submit. Yeah, so and then when you submit, it's just that here I haven't filled in all the information. Yeah, so when I click on submit, it will tell me to finish. Now I already have a TPIN. Yeah, so I planned on creating a TPIN for one of you as an example. Now I think you don't be so comfortable like sharing your date of birth. Yeah, so this is confidential information. So this is how you create your TPIN. You just use the ZRA app, and you'll be given feedback like in a week or so. Yeah, and then there's also another way you can dial star that method star. Yeah, so if I remember the code, I'll comment on this video. Yeah, so somewhere something like star 668. I've forgotten if it's star 7 something. So you can create your TPIN by dialing star 778 hash, or is it star 858? Yeah, so one of these, you can go to your call logs and then you do that. Yeah, you go to your call logs and then you dial star 858. But the best way is to create using the TagZone app, or you can even create by going on Google Chrome, or if you have Opera Mini, you use that. Yeah, so you can also create by going online. So you can my phone is heavily slow with this network. So you can just search ZRA TPIN registration there. Yeah, and then you click on Zambia Revenue Authority. Oh, I should have just clicked where it's written TPIN registration for bank. Yeah, so you can also come here on the website. Although, so the reason I said the app is easier is because it's straightforward. But when you go to the website, you have to come here where it's written TPIN registration for bank account. Yeah, so you click on TPIN registration for bank. Yeah, and then you start putting your details. There it's name. Yeah, so I've clicked here on TPIN registration for bank account order, and then you start putting your name. You put you put your name, email address, and everything. Yeah, and then as you are just following the details to the end, and then you submit, and you would have created. Yeah, so it takes some time, so you should create as early as possible. So if you don't want to create on your own, you can ask someone. So people charge like 70 kwacha, 50 kwacha, 100. Yeah, so you can ask someone to create it for you. Yeah, but there'll be payment because they have to be doing it all for you. But you give them your name, where you stay, phone number, you give them everything. Yeah, so that's on the TPIN registration for bank account. So the reason for creating a TPIN, it's mainly because you want to create a bank account. Yeah, and HELSB needs that so that they can trace you. Yeah, so at this point, are there questions? So if there are questions, I'm not able to see the hands, so you can rather you can just start speaking if you have a question. Yes.
For me, during the registration of the TPIN, I made the mistake. Instead of putting Northwestern Province, but I had put Lusaka Province. So where will I change that from?
Okay, so thanks for that. So if you put a different place from where you stay, you can correct your information by going to the nearest ZRA office. Yeah, so there are a number of ZRA offices around the country. So you can try to ask around, like where you can find ZRA where you stay. So how you can go about that, you should like search for Zambia Revenue Authority on Facebook, and then you inbox them, you tell them about that, and then they'll even give you like if it's a phone number, if it's a number which you can call. Yeah, so you should inbox them on Facebook, and then you tell them about that. They'll be able to assist you. So usually changing, they'll tell you where to go. If you stay in Northwestern, if it's Western, if there's ZRA there, then they'll tell you that okay, so go to this branch, go this place. Yeah, so that's it on that one. So is there any other question?
Yes, sir. Can you start buying the forms even now?
No. You can't buy the form. So the form is only bought when the advert is out. So like if you go to NatSave, they'll even ask you like you want to apply for which university, and then mostly the forms are not even available. But after the advert is out, the forms are distributed countrywide. So even when the advert is out, if you go on the same day, you will most likely not find the forms. Yeah, so you can't buy before the advert.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Is there any other? Okay, so I think that's it on that. So coming back to where we were, we've now talked about the TPIN in as much detail as we can. Yeah, so you can create the TPIN on your own. You can ask someone to create for you. Yeah, and then personally, I don't create TPIN. Yeah, I'm limited on time. Yeah, so you can ask someone to create for you a TPIN. You can even go to ZRA. They can create a TPIN for you. And then when you create a TPIN, a certificate will be generated. And how you download, you go to the website which I showed you, and then you'll be able to download. Yeah, so that's on the TPIN. Social security number, you can as well search again. You can search NAPSA, and then you start creating like your account there on NAPSA. Yeah, so but this hasn't been emphasized on very much as at now. Yeah, so you don't need the NAPSA social security number that much. Yeah, so this is the form. We'll get to talk about it even more. Like what you put here, you put your name. You understand that this is a student loan. You have to pay back. And then previously, when you start working, you pay 15%. But according to recent news, this 15% was reduced to 10%. Yeah, so 10% of your salary, it will be going towards paying back the money. Yeah, so in other years, you can find that it even goes to 5%. Yeah, so and then on this form, when you buy it, there are some changes. Yeah, so this is the form which was used last year. Here there's only a need for the applicant to sign, but the forms which used to be there some years back, you as a student, you have to sign. Also your parents or guardians, they also need to sign. But according to this new form, you don't sign. Yeah, and then for those who have into certificates, you just put the examination number for the school certificate. Yeah, so this is on the form. Yeah, so that's on the form. We've talked about the 7th item. Yeah, so we're now going to briefly talk about the supporting documents. So before we proceed, are people okay here up to this point? If you have any question regarding this, you can unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so I can. Okay, so I forgot to change the recording. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to continue. So, but the recording wasn't recording. Okay, so those who will be able to watch the recorded meeting, as some of those things did not successfully record. Yeah, but I'm sure you heard what was being talked about. The audio is still recording. Yeah, so we've talked about all these. And then the form which I was talking about, this one, here you have to sign as an applicant. You sign and you also put the date. Yeah, so but the forms which used to be there in the past, also your guardians would sign. Like they sign here. When you sign, it means that everything is. Yes?
Sir, you can see the form.
Oh, you can see the form. Oh, okay. Thanks. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm unable to see it.
What about others? Can you react if you're able to see? Yeah, so I think it's just...
I'm able to see the form.
Yeah. I think it is just network. Yeah, so but I'll be able to send the form so that you can go through it. Yeah, so I think it's just network on your side. Yeah, so the form it's there. Yeah, so I was just trying to say that on the you have to sign in the form, and also on your handwritten application letter you have to sign. This time parents do not sign. Yeah, because those are the changes which have come in. Yeah. So now, I think we're all good with the requirements. So now let's quickly talk about the supporting documents.
I have a question.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Is it possible to apply for both the student loan and scholarship, or just apply for one?
Okay, so thanks. That's a very good question. So it's possible to apply for both because you never know where you'll be picked. You can just apply for a student loan and then they leave you out. So you can also apply for a scholarship. But if they award you with one thing, then they cannot award you with the other thing. So like let's say you apply for a student loan at Mulungushi, and then you have also applied for a scholarship, maybe to go to Mauritius, Morocco, the well known. Yeah, as long as you've applied for a scholarship. So if the student loan, if the list comes out from Lungushi first, then once they start picking those who will be considered for the scholarship, if your name is already appearing here, then they won't pick you on the other one. Yeah, so it's possible you can apply for both, but you cannot be given both. Yeah, although there are some very rare cases whereby someone is granted both, meaning you would have to choose, like, okay, I'll just go for the scholarship, not the student loan, or you can go for the student loan and not the scholarship. Yeah, so this also applies when you're applying for the student loan at different institutions. So if you're applying at Mlungushi and also Unza, where they'll pick you first, if they pick you at Unza, then they won't pick you at Mlungushi because your details are now in the system. If they pick you at Mlungushi, then they won't pick you at Unza. And again, there are some rare cases whereby someone is picked at both, meaning you have to choose, like, okay, I want to continue with MU, I'll just go to Unza, or I want to continue with Unza, I'll go to MU. Yeah. So if there are other questions, you can just go ahead and ask.
So is it possible to change? Let's say if one is picked at Mulungushi, but the person doesn't want to study from Mulungushi. Maybe he or she wants to start from CBU. Is it possible to change the school?
No, it's not. So it's not possible to change because when they award you a student loan, then they have planned that, okay, the fees at Mulungushi, like in the School of Medicine, it's around 26,000 per year, and then at CBU it's around 29,000. So if they award you at one school, you cannot change because the budget is different. Even like at Mulungushi they use semesters, but at CBU they use terms, term 1, term 2, term 3. So you cannot change from Mulungushi to go to CBU, or from CBU. Sometimes even if the prices are the same, you can find that maybe CBU is 30,000 and also UNZA is 30,000. you still cannot change. Yeah. So someone wanted to ask as well. You can go ahead. Is it Keith?
Yes, sir. Like maybe you have to apply for a scholarship. Do you also need an admission letter for that university which you have to apply for a scholarship?
Yeah. So you also need an admission letter. Although sometimes, so it depends on the scholarship. So there are some scholarships, especially like India, and also very common like Russia, especially Russia. So when they advertise for Russia, they even list universities. Like, so in Russia, you should go to the website and then you apply for this university, or if you want, you can choose this university or another university. So for such scholarships, then first you need the admission letter from one of the universities, and then you attach it. And then again, there are some for scholarships like Morocco. As of recent, you just need to apply without an admission letter from the university. You just need to state the program you want to apply for. When you say that program, as long as it was listed, then you'll be awarded. So it depends on the scholarship. Yeah, so for some of these, you need to select the university you want. And then for some of these, maybe they'll just say, okay, in Morocco, the university which they'll go to is, they'll just give it. And then you just have to apply without an admission letter. So is there anyone else with another question?
How about the process of application? Is it the same or is it different?
The process of application, applying for a scholarship.
Yes.
And also applying for student loan, you're asking if they are same?
Yes, or yes.
Okay. So they're generally the same. So let's see, what do you need? An admission letter. So admission letter, we've said some they are needed, some they are not needed. And then this is handwritten letter. Yeah, so the basic requirements are quite similar. Application letter, here the difference is that you have to type. For the student loan, you write with your handwriting, but for the scholarship you have to type. Photocopy of admission letter, we've said some countries you need to apply for admission at one of the universities, while others you don't need the admission letter. And then your grade 12 results, this one is a must. For scholarship and student loan, they are needed both. And then your NRC, they are needed for the scholarship and also the student loan. They are similar. And then for the guardians, they are not needed for the scholarship. For the guardians, NRC is only for the parents. Well, it's only for the students' loan. Passport size photos, they are needed for both. An application form, it's needed for both. Receipt needed for both. So they are quite similar, but with minor differences. Like here you type, admission letter may not be needed, guardians NRC is not needed. So let's give chance to Ruth. Ruth, you wanted to ask something.
Yes, my question was like, what if someone just have one recommendation letter from the former school and he or she wants to apply at maybe 2 universities? Is it possible to use the same recommendation letter or what?
It's not so possible, because in the recommendation letter, the school has to say that you have been admitted at Mulungushi. They have to say that those in the recommendation letter. They also have to put your student number. Is it 2025-0625? They have to put. So, and then they also have to put the program at MU which have been admitted. So you cannot use your recommendation letter from MU. You apply for it. You use it at CBU. Yeah, so for CBU again, it means the school should make another recommendation letter. because the student number for CBU just starts with 25 and then with other numbers, but for MU it starts with 2025 because this is 2025. Yeah, and then for UNS also it has its own format. And then the programs at Mulungushi, we just go direct, like you apply for pre-medicine, but at CBU you apply for NQ. So even the programs are a little bit different. SAS based at CBU NQ, but here it's NS. So you cannot use the same. The school has to make for you another recommendation letter for the other university. So,
thank you, sir.
Sure. Is there anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I apply for a scholarship? Can I apply for a scholarship under some university?
No, it's not possible unless there's this new scholarship which has come in. It's called HELSB KCM scholarship. Yeah, so this is very new. So this KCM is Konkona Copper Mine. It's only available for those in Copper Belt. So this is a scholarship, meaning like you don't pay. Yeah, so this is very new. This is the only scholarship you can apply locally. Yeah, so but for the scholarship which is just for HELSB, it's only abroad. You cannot apply locally in Zambia. And then is there anyone else? Okay, so I think that's it for the questions for now. Yeah. So now quickly running through the supporting documents. What do you need? You need your recommendation letter from the school. So this one is said to be compulsory, but HELSB doesn't say that you need it. So if you want, you can leave it out. But you just have to show commitment. Like you have to show that you are serious. Yeah. So you need this at least one. So no wonder all these people who guide you, we always say that you need at least one. So the one from school, it is the most important because the school knows you better. You have been there from grade 10 to 12. They know you, they know your conduct. So the one from school carries weight. Yeah, so no wonder we say it is kind of compulsory. Yeah, and then so you don't need the format for the recommendation letter. The schools have their own formats. And then the other ones which are optional, you need a recommendation letter from a religious authority like your church. You can get from the mosque, yeah, or anywhere where you worship from. You can get a recommendation letter from there. You can get a recommendation letter from a traditional leader. So this one, I can say it's optional. If you come from a village, it carries a lot of weight, even more than the one from school, because for those who are coming from rural areas, there's a certain percentage which is given to them. We're going to talk about the criteria. So if you're coming from a rural area, you should ensure to get from your chief, headman, or anything. Yeah, so this carries a lot of weight. It carries weight. And then you also need these. You can get from the councillor, DC, member of parliament. Yeah, you can get, if you want, you can even get from all of them, or just get from one. Yeah, so this is on the recommendation letters. So what I should say, on the recommendation letters, like it has been written, it's the one from school, it's kind of compulsory. Yeah, because this one is needed. But if you want, you can leave it out and still be awarded. Yeah, so but just a general advice, you should show at least commitment. So imagine you have 12 points, and then another person has 13 points. So in the merit category, this one with 12 points has more chances Yeah, so but sometimes you never know what goes on in the background. So imagine someone has 12 points and then they haven't included any of these. But this one with 13 points, they get one from school, they get one from church, they get another one from the chief if possible. They also get from the councillor, from the member of parliament. Yeah, like you have put too much. So that is showing like it's showing something like you are desperate, if we can put it like that. Yeah, so it just shows that like you are showing them that you are only relying on HELSB. Like if they want to sponsor you, like your options are limited. Yeah, so this is just a general advice. Getting a lot of recommendation letters doesn't mean that you'll be awarded, but at least there should be commitment. Yeah, and like you don't even put any, like how are we going to trace you if you run away with our money? You just leave us with your 6 points and then you run with our money. Yeah, so this is just a general advice. You can get up to what you can manage. For the school, at least make effort. For these others, just check what you can manage to get. You don't need everything, but at least maybe 2 or 3. So personally, I can say the minimum is 2. You should get at least 2, and then that is better. One of them should be from school, and then the other one from one of these. So before you go to the other supporting documents, if you have a question on the recommendation letter, you can ask. So is it?
Sir.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, like maybe you are working somewhere public university, like maybe a company, can you get a recommendation letter from that company?
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, you can get from there, because and then you can even tell them like, so you should put for me that I'm not able to sponsor myself. I just do some piecework so that I can help my parents. So that is a good recommendation letter. It will show that yeah, you are vulnerable. So if you are working somewhere, you can ask them to put for you a recommendation letter. Yeah, so you can get from there. So now, yes.
Those recommendation letters, are they supposed to be handwritten or typed? Except for the... Are they supposed to be handwritten or typed?
Okay. So all recommendation letters should be typed. Yeah, although there are some cases whereby the headman, maybe they do not have a computer or they do not have a printer. So usually the headman, the chief, most of them, they just write for you handwritten. Yeah, so but what you can do, these are official letters. They are official letters going to HELSB, so they have to be formally written. So all of them should be typed, but in a case where the chief cannot type, you can even take up the initiative whereby you just write the recommendation letter on your own, or you can tell the chief to write. When they write it with a handwriting, and then you go for typing, like you type it and then you print it out, and then you just take for the signature, and if they have the date stamp, they also put the date stamp. So they should all be typed, unless if the place where you're applying from it is very remote, like there are no internet cafes. Yeah, then in those extreme cases, then you can just use the one which is handwritten. Yeah, but all of them should be typed. And then there's someone who has the hand up. You can ask. Yes, Bridget, did you have a question? Okay.
No, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, I got my recommendation letter from the DC this very month in the first week, so I wanted to ask if I can still use the same recommendation letter or not.
Yes, you can use the same one. It is quite recent. So the advert for Mlungushi will likely come out next month. Yeah, so there's only 1 month. It's only 1 month old by that time, so you can use it. It's okay.
Alright, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So now, my time is running out. So now let's quickly talk about these. So these are the supporting documents. Number one, recommendation letters. There are different types of recommendation letters. I've talked about them. So what about the death certificate? Yeah. So remember, I said immediately you mentioned that you're an orphan, then HELSB will say that okay. So it means that you also have a death certificate. Yeah. So this you only need it when the people keeping you are late. So it can even happen that maybe by the time you are born, your father maybe wasn't around. You've never seen him, and then unfortunately even your mother passed on, and then you've been living with your guardians. So you can say maybe your grandparents, they're the ones who are keeping you. And then if it happens that your grandparents now they passed on, then you need the death certificates of your grandparents, because they're the ones who are keeping you. Yeah, and then you have to explain this you have to summarize it in the application letter that you've never lived with your father, you don't know about his whereabouts, your mother was late when you were young, and your guardian was your grandparents. And then if they are late, you can put their death certificate. And then if you are living with your parents and then they passed on, then you need the death certificates of your parents. So now, there's this common question where, what if your parents are, they are late, and then you don't know about their death certificate. Maybe you are very little, you don't have the death certificate. So if you can't manage to find it and your relatives, none of them know where it is, or maybe it can even happen that they died in a rural area, it is very remote, there was no record for the death certificate. This is where this document comes in, the affidavit. So this is just a document whereby you are going to swear that the information you've provided is true. Yeah, so the affidavit, it works in place of a death certificate. Yeah, so the death certificate is only needed when one of your parents they are late. And then for the affidavit, if you don't have the death certificate, then if you don't have the death certificate, then you can use the affidavit. And then this, it can also be used even if you don't have, maybe your parents are alive, but you have said that both of them do not work, or you say that both of them are peasant farmers. So these are common lies which people make, your parents or guardians, they work somewhere, but you say that they do not work. Yeah, so so even HELSB knows that most of the people lie. No wonder they need the death certificate. But if it's not available, then you have to go and swear. You find you find the affidavit at the court or the commissioner of oaths. You'll be given a form, and then you swear on that form, and then you sign. Yeah, and then you can also use this if you just want to say your parents cannot manage to pay, and then because sometimes it doesn't show, you do not have evidence, like you cannot prove that your parents they work at the market, you cannot prove that. So you can use the death certificate where you say your parents work, they work at the market, they sell domestic items, and then you put in the affidavit, you swear that it is true that your parents do not have formal employment, or they do not have a stable income, or maybe they work but they cannot manage to sponsor. So this is the affidavit. Yeah, so and it's even here. So the affidavit shows an oath if the parents do not work, or if the death certificate is not available. So this one, it is just whereby you swear that what you are saying is true. Yeah. And then number 7, recommendation letter from the parent. No, you do not need the recommendation letter from the parent. Yeah, so each parent will always they always support you. Yeah, so this is not needed. And then any other supporting documents. So what are these other supporting documents? So someone has asked, where can you get the affidavit? I said from the court, or yeah, mainly from the court, the commissioner of oaths. You can go to those offices, the local court, magistrate court, high court, they should have. And then the other supporting documents, these are just other documents which you can look for. Yeah, so like for example, there's this document which is quite clever. Like if you have a balance at school, so it's just that this time they've introduced free education, but back in the day, when there was no free education, if you have a balance, this is a very good supporting document, whereby in the application letter you can even say that I couldn't manage to pay for my school fees and I even have a balance. So then you are trying to tell HELSB that if you didn't manage to pay for secondary, what more tertiary education? It's going to be a challenge. So this is the other supporting document. If you have a balance from school, you can tell the school to produce a document showing your balance. Yeah, there are those things, testimonials. Many schools have testimonials. So if you have a balance from school, you can show that. Yeah, and then other supporting documents, there are also these organizations like KGS, there's CAMFED. So those people sponsor at secondary level, you can ask them. So there is KGS for girls, and also CAMFED is also for girls. So if you are sponsored by one of these, you can tell them to write for you a recommendation letter, so that it will show that your parents could not pay at secondary level. Yeah, and then you can also think of other supporting documents, pay slips. If your parents are, maybe your parent is a doctor and then they have a lot of loans, they cannot manage to pay, you can attach the pay slip to show that they cannot manage to pay. Yeah, so this is on the other supporting documents. So are there questions on any of these? You can go ahead and ask. Okay, so I guess there are no questions. Yeah, so in case a question will come up later on, you can still ask. Yeah, and then for those who are watching the recorded meeting, you can comment and I'll reply immediately. Yeah, then now coming to conclusion, there are some criteria which HELSB uses to award student loans. So vulnerability is not on the criteria. Yeah, so sometimes you can be vulnerable, but if you're not presenting the required information, you won't be awarded. So what is this criteria? So 60% of the list goes to science-based programs, and then 40% is for people who are in art-based programs. So science-based programs, these are all these course programs like medicine, engineering, pharmacy. Yeah, so all these, as long as, most especially if you be doing NS. Yeah, and also the other programs which are like computer science, all these are science-based. And then for art-based, these are like accounting, economics, social work, education. These are art-based. So on the list, 60% of the list goes to science, and then 40% goes to art-based. And then the reasons are known to HELSB, but mainly is to promote innovation in the country, like so that there can be more innovators to contribute to the economy and all that. Yeah, so this is on the criteria. And then the other criteria, which we can call rationale, it is on how they award. So 35% of the list, they consider points. Like the number of points someone got, they'll be considered. So this is like starting from, so HELSB counts 5 subjects. So those who have 5 points, they select them. Those who have 6, they select 7, they select 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, until 35% of the list is they have been awarded. So like for example at Mulungushi, they as of recent they used to award about 1,000. So 35% of 1,000, it's I think 350 students. Yeah. So these 350 students, this is 35% of 1,000. So for the first 350 students, they consider points. Like those who have 5 points, they get 6 points, they get 7 points, they get 8, 9, 10, they get 12, they get 14 points, they get. And then when they reach 350, then they stop. Yeah, so like maybe someone has like 24 points, and then 350 people having 18 points and below. It means someone who has 24, they have very low chances. So merit category, they consider the points, starting from those with few points going all the way up. And then now, let's talk about the other category. Remember this. Yes.
So sir, when counting the points, do they check like the types of subjects which you have? For example, if you want to do like engineering, and then do they count like maybe like if you got the one in civic, or they just count like in general? The way like if you have like 5 points like in general.
So it is generally taken. So they'll count the number of points you got, your marks in English, in math, and then in one science they get. And then now the other 2, that's when they can consider the program you're going for. Yeah, so if like you're going for a science-based program, and then they can consider another science like biology, and any other subject like civic education, art, geography, they'll get any. Yeah, so the points they are gotten from here, these 3, plus any 2 subjects, biology and any other. And then if you performed better in biology than science, then they'll count the points in biology. So for science-based programs, you need all these. And then for art-based programs, they'll need these 3 plus any 2. Yeah, so that is how points have been counted. Yeah, unless there will be changes, but this is how they do it. Yeah, and then coming to the rural affirmative category. So this is where they consider where you are coming from. So those who are coming from, so remember the total number, like for example, it's 1,000 at Mulungushi. And then for other universities, it's like 2,000 at CBU. At UNZA, it's usually 2,500. Yeah, so they consider how big the university is. For others, it's about 750. Yeah, but these numbers have been increasing. Yeah, so this example, we're talking about Mulungushi. So 350 people will be 350 people will be taken from the merit, and then 30% of 3,000 is 300. So 300 people will be taken from the rural areas. So Nanda said, if you are coming from a rural area, ensure that you get a recommendation letter from the village headman. So if you are from a rural area, they will now start looking for application letters which are from the rural area. they start getting out, okay, this one is from this place, let's award them. This one is from this place, let's award them. Yeah. So that's on the rural area. For urban areas, I don't know, for some reason they do not, there's no category for this. Yeah, I don't know if people from urban areas are rich or something, but our main is to promote rural development, because when they educate people from the rural areas, they'll go and work from there and they'll develop the nation in all areas. And then another 300 people will be females. So females will be gotten, like they now start getting application letters from females only. No wonder you have to specify your gender in the application letter. Some names are gender neutral. Yeah. So remember, this is just a sample. So if they decide to award 2,000 people at Mulungushi, then even the percentage, even the numbers will increase. Like instead of 300, what is 30% of 2,000? It is around 600 people. So meaning those in rural areas, they will get about 600. Yeah, and also those who are females, about 600 of the list, it will just be females. Yeah, so it depends on the number of people they want to award according to the funds. If there's not much money, then they'll just get 1,000. If there are enough funds, they can get 600 and all that. Yeah, and then this one, 5% is for people with disabilities. Yeah, so this category, there are not so many people applying. Yeah, so what happens usually is if maybe like only 2 people applied, the remainder, maybe like let's say only 2% applied who are disabled, it means the 3% it goes to the merit category. Yeah, so the merit category, it usually has 38%, sometimes even 40, if no one with disabilities applied. Yeah, so ensure you do not lie that you have a disability. Once you are caught that you lied, you will face persecution. You'll be taken to the court for giving false information. Yeah. So this is on that. Are there questions?
Yes, sir. So, like, when you have this money, are they going to be like buying you groceries that is ready, or they just be paying your fees? That's just the tuition fees only.
Okay, so thanks for that. I even forgot to talk about the allowances. Yeah, okay, so we're going to talk about, so let's even talk about them right now. So when you awarded the student loan, what does it cover? It covers tuition fees. It will cover your tuition fees. It will cover your accommodation fees. So some universities, they pay 5,000 per year. Others pay 4,000, like at Mulungushi, per year. And then there are also allowances which are given. They'll give you an allowance. Yeah, so this is the part where you're asking about groceries. So the allowances which they give, number 1, it is called meal allowance. So meal allowance, it is given every month when you go to school. Right now it is 755 somewhere. Yeah, around 750 per month. So this is the meal allowance which is given. So remember, later on it will even be 800. So they will give this when you close. They won't be giving you, but when you're in school, they'll be giving you. So they give per day. Per day it's 25 kwacha. 25 kwacha per day. So if a day has 30 days, then that's when you get 30 times 25. It's 750. Yeah, so you'll be getting meal allowance, which is 750 per month, and then you also be getting book allowance. Book allowance, they give 1,000 per year. For every academic year, they'll give you 1,000. But for like Mulungushi uses semesters. In semester 1, they'll give you 500. In semester 2, they also give you 500. Yeah, but for schools which use the academic year as just one academic year, they get it all together 1,000. And then there's also accommodation allowance. In case you do not stay in school, you are staying at a boarding house, they give accommodation allowance. So the accommodation allowance, very soon it will be very same across the universities, but as at now, it is different according to how much you pay at school. So like for example, at Mulungushi, the accommodation allowance is 2,000 per semester, meaning HELSB will be giving you this money to pay for your boarding house, but they only give you once. And then boarding houses, we'll talk about them, they're like 750 per month. Yeah, so usually the accommodation allowance is not enough. Yeah, so but they'll give you this in one semester, again in another semester they give you 2,100. Yeah, and then for schools which use the academic calendar, they'll give them 4,000 at once. Yeah, also for those who will be doing medicine at here at Livingstone, you'll be getting paid 4,200 per academic year. So when you open, they'll give you this money. And then plus, also these allowances will be coming in: meal allowance, book allowance, accommodation. Yeah, so this is what the student loan will cover: tuition there, accommodation, and then allowances. Yeah, so are there questions on allowances? Okay, so seems all is well. And then what about here on these categories? If you have any question, you can go ahead and ask.
Sir,
Yes.
now that money, how do they give? Do they deposit in bank account or your Airtel account?
In the
Or
bank,
they give you cash?
they give in bank accounts. So this is the reason why also TPINs are needed. Yeah, so you need this to create a bank account. So before you go to school, you should create a bank account, or even when you go to school, people will come who will create for you bank accounts. So you can create Zanaco, you can create through Barclays Bank. Yeah, so just make sure you create a bank which is very common. If you create a bank account for an account which is not very recognized, then the money will be delaying for you. Like first for these others, they'll receive, and then that's when they come. So I would recommend Zanaco, and then you can also use FNB. It's the number 2 recommendation. FNB, Barclays, and Indo Bank. Yeah, so Indo Bank is also even in campus at Mulungushi. Yeah. So that's about that. So are there other questions? Yeah, so I think we have talked about HELSB in detail. Yeah, so I want to be able to reply to a number of your messages inbox, because we have addressed almost everything. Yeah, so now at this point, as we come to conclusion, I'm just going to briefly answer a number of questions. So I said you should inbox me some of the questions which you ask, or some of the questions which you have towards HELSB, and then I'll answer them during the call. Yeah, because I cannot manage to reply all at once. Yeah, so now let me just quickly answer the questions which were asked. Yeah, so but for now, let me just change the what is being projected. Yeah, so just a minute. Yeah, so and then but if you have more questions, you can always feel free to reach out. Like, okay, if you didn't talk about this, can you shed more light? Yeah, you'll be guided. Yeah. So we've talked about how to apply. So just hold on. So so how do you apply for a student loan? We've said you get a form. You get a form from NatSave, and then with all the requirements you fill in, and then you go to NatSave, you submit. We said you can also submit at CBU, or you can submit at the headquarters. So there's no safer place. Each of these places are safe. NatSave, CBU, headquarters. Yeah. So and then the application process, there isn't even that much of a process. You only need those requirements which you have talked about. Your passport size photos, your admission letter. When everything is in place, how you apply? Oh, so wait, the recording was paused. Okay, so how you apply? It's simply you go to NatSave and you fill in your details in the document, and then you submit everything. Yeah, the process, there isn't even a process. The process is just number one, you prepare your documents in advance. Number two, when the advert is out, you buy the form. Number three, you fill in the form. And then number four, you submit the form at NatSave or any branch. Yeah, so that's what we can just go about the application process. Yeah, so like I promised that most of the questions which you asked will be answered. So Peter asked something. I've explained on the social security number, and then someone was asking when they're going to like advertise. It will be next month. Yeah, so next month May, after 10th May, you should be able to see the advert. Yeah, so this is for 2025. So there's that document I'll send again. The expected dates. Yeah, so for MU they advertise in May, and then for CBU they advertise in usually August. Yeah, so I'll share that document. Yeah, so someone was asking when they advertise. That's the response. And then let me also quickly answer the other ones. Okay, so the questions are a lot. I don't want this code to be this long. Yeah, so all those who inboxed questions, I think I'll just reply to each and every one of you. Yeah, I'll send you voice notes explaining all your various questions, because I've seen some questions are quite personal. I can't answer them here on public. Yeah, so but I think we've talked as much as we can. Where will not be. This is not even recording. Yeah, so but where you have questions, you can always reach out. Like, okay, what about when it's like this, when it's like that? Yeah, so are there any last questions which you have here? So you can go ahead if you have any last questions. So Lubaya, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, so what about the registration fees? Do they give us?
Who HELSB? So
Yes.
for the registration fee, there's no registration fee at Mulungushi, but for universities like UNZA, previously students used to pay for themselves. It used to be around 2,000, but according to changes which were made, HELSB now pays their registration fees. Yeah, so I can say HELSB pays. Yeah, the HELSB will pay for your registration fee. Yeah, so even for the other universities where their registration fees, HELSB will usually cater for that, unless the systems are just different. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
So
Sir, I have a question.
yes.
So what about so how are you supposed to tell if you don't find if you don't find accommodation in school?
How do you do it?
How are you supposed to say if you don't find accommodation in school?
Oh, okay. So when you report in school, HELSB will come to get your details again. The process is called screening. So from the details which you submit, you are going to submit what is called your personal information, and HELSB will know from the look of your personal information that this one isn't accommodated. So you won't even need to tell them. When they come to screen, they'll get your details and then they'll see whether you're accommodated or not. If you're not accommodated, they'll put you in the system so that you can be receiving accommodation allowance. And then this one whose name starts with J, you can ask.
On the tipping issue, what app did you say you can download for want to get tipping?
So you can download the tax on app. Yeah, so just search on Google Play Store. I'm not sure if it's down on Apple Store. Yeah, but you download the tags on app. Yeah, so here you'll be able to create your TPIN.
Alright, thank you.
Sure. And then anyone else as we come to close? Okay, so I think we've exhausted all the possible questions you can possibly ask. So you people have survived. Only remaining with 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 people. Yeah, so if there are no more questions, you can react so that I can see that we're good to go. Okay, so I guess that's it. This is where we end with our meeting. Oh, before we close, I think there's someone with a question. Who is that one who has come at the last minute? So the name starts with D. Feel free to ask. Do you have something to ask? Okay, so there was a hand. Okay, so Doris has even left. She's the one who wanted to ask. Yeah, so we'll end here. We'll see when we can have again yet another discussion such as this. Yeah, so here we're just talking about everything in general. Yeah, so we have more days ahead. We're going to talk about like when the student loan is out, when the advert is out. Yeah, we're going to discuss more how to fill in the form and everything. Yeah, so for this meeting we'll end here. While you are not clear, you can comment on the video, or you can inbox me on this line. Yeah, so you can inbox me here Or you can also inbox those lines, those people who guide. We have Simon Sikaluzwe, Alice Walia, there's Festus Michelo, and all these people, they are there to help you. Yeah, so you can feel free to always inbox any one of us. We'll always be there. So we'll end here. Yeah, so have a good day.